Yeah, so San Francisco, some question marks going into the season last year. Is Brock Purdy gonna play? Is he gonna, is what's gonna go on with Brock Purdy? You had the Tom Brady rumors, you had all this stuff echoing all through. Brock Purdy plays. They start out 5-0. They hit the slump in the middle of the season. They kind of dive down. They make their way back up into the ranks of the NFC. They control home field advantage throughout the playoffs, defeating the Lions. And I'm drawing a blank of who they played. Oh, the Packers. I forgot that. 10-point lead in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Another 10-point lead blown to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And the runners up once again, your San Francisco 49ers. And I think we got to address the elephant in the room here on this thing, and it's on offense. As we shift into the offense here, where in the world will Brandon Ayuk go? Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? He rejected $32 million from the Patriots, apparently, which would have gave him top 3 receiver money in the league. That's the question mark. I mean, they did draft Pearsall this year. They also drafted Jacob Cowing, and they also drafted Danny Gray the year that they thought they were going to lose Debo. So, yeah. I mean, that's the biggest question is where in the world will Brandon Ayuk go?
I
NFL,
feel like
USFL.
I feel like it's going to be the Amari Cooper trade with the Browns. I feel like that's the most likely, with the Patriots dropping out, or him saying no and then them dropping out obviously after that. With their excuse of, it really is an excuse, I guess, of, hey, we have young talented receivers that we like. It's not. I mean,
It's just he just said no. No one's mentioning it. He wants to come to the Berg. San Fran's being all tighty whities about it. He's coming to Pittsburgh. I do not care. He's coming to Pittsburgh. He's not going to Cleveland. Who wants to go to Cleveland? Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Come
Josh,
on in.
but Josh, you might want to take a seat on this one. Pickett is he's on the other side of Pennsylvania. There's 2 cities in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Charlie Day over here.
yeah.
Are you shocked? Are we shocked from Josh? I'm not.
I mean, in this, yeah, he's pretty shocked right now.
Yep. It's all good,
In a
Josh.
couple weeks. You can get him back.
Yeah, there you go.
But looking at the rest of it, Trent Williams, I think he's a hold out right now. I don't think he's showing up, but he wants a new contract. I mean, listen, I know Jake mentioned a couple weeks ago he hated the Eagles going against Tyron Smith. Now he's on the Jets. Trent Williams is definitely another guy that, you probably did not want to go against because he's, cornerstone left tackle. And he's the best left tackle in the NFC, and I want to say the NFL. He can still get a lot of stuff done. But, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question is just where's Ayuk going to go? I mean, McCaffrey, he has a calf injury, so the Madden curse, I don't want to say strikes again, but it strikes again. He's not playing at all in preseason. I don't think he's going to practice until the end of the preseason.
He's fine, though. It's a precautionary thing.
I think he'll play.
He had that calf injury to end the season, so, and he was, there throughout the entire playoff run. But yeah, the addition of, Sam Darnold goes to Minnesota. They bring in Josh Dobbs, so at least there's a lot of electricity going on there at the backup quarterback spot. Also, Brandon Allen as well. Not really many moves on offense. I mean, I mentioned it.
The biggest one.
Pearsall. I mean,
Yeah,
like additions like that.
I mean, I think here's the thing: if it happens with Cleveland, you have Amari Cooper, which could be absolutely phenomenal on this team, and they just may not lose a step. Period.
Could they even afford the contract coming back though?
I have no idea. I just know that's what the trade was. If it happens, Colton, do you know who Pittsburgh like?
Apparently, no players in the deal, just picks.
That's crazy. So obviously, the Niners would rather the Amari Cooper trade, but I don't know. Amari Cooper.
Would you though?
Would
you though? Jake brings up a very good point. Would you though?
No.
You don't want to pay Ayuk, but you're going to take on Amari Cooper's contract.
Who's expiring after this year?
It was similar to.
I mean, if it's a 1 year thing,
yeah, but you're getting Amari Cooper on a 1 year deal. Or you're going to take picks from Pittsburgh. You tell me what you're going to take.
Take the picks.
I'm taking the picks.
You take the picks in the cap space.
I would much rather Amari Cooper personally. That's a top performing receiver.
At that rate, you might as well just keep Ayuk and don't trade his ass.
Yeah, but we know. I mean,
Well, that's what it's going to be. They have control of Ayuk still.
Especially with their money that they have coming down, like from all the guys they paid. I don't think they can take Amari Cooper.
Well, I mean, they would have to figure something out because that's just what would be happening. I don't know. That's what the trade was. So
they also could have had Kendrick Bourne, but
would have had Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, that would have worked.
Yeah, that definitely would have worked. Pennies on the dollars,
Yeah,
not expensive.
Kendrick Bourne going back to San Fran. That's where he was first.
That is true. So,
but Ayuk said, "Nah, I don't want $32 million. Don't give me the number one receiving
I love
money."
it. He wants to win. I love it. And I saw the comments. What are you talking about, Russell Wilson? Have you not paid attention to any training camp there, Mr. Kenny Pickett? It's been the Justin Fields show in the Berg right now. Watch your tone, Josh.
That's even
worse.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Justin Fields had a very good camp. Since you're all hutsy door, I hope it's AFC North next week. I hope it's AFC North next week where you guys, and you start looking, Justin Fields has had a good camp. Continue on. Give me the defense. We don't need to talk about this.
And with the Bears.
So going to the defensive side of the football here on the 49ers, it's I want to talk about their losses. So they lose Clelin Ferrell, if that's really a loss, or Andy Gregory, if you really want to consider that's a loss. Chase Young, who they traded for midseason. But the big one, Eric Armstead, cap casualty. Javon Kinlaw, one of their former draft picks, he heads over to the East Coast. Isaiah Oliver, who was, he was a really good corner, then Tashawn Gibson. But they add Leonard Floyd. They add one of Dom's favorite players, Yetur Gross-Matos, Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, Devondre Campbell. And, what? Bernardo Green.
Penn Stater. Fucking loved him at Penn State.
I think he's always been a sick player. It just never happened. It was also... Continue. Sorry.
So, and then they also have the two injuries. Hufunga, who tore his ACL in the middle of the season. I believe it was against the Buccaneers. So I don't know when he's going to be back on the field. I know teams are slowly activating, players off the PUP as we go through camp. And then Dre Greenlaw, which one of the most unfortunate injuries, I think, in NFL history. Him running onto the field and tearing his Achilles is just... that's like a 1 in a billion type thing. I don't think we can ever see that.
I just saw that again last week. The audio from, I think it was Fred Warner, when they went to run out and he looked back and he's just on the ground and he's like, no. And it's just, and then he was
reminds me of the Simba scene.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, this team was a top 10 defense last year. I'm sure it'll be a top 10 defense this year. It's just kind of what they do and play well, and it just is what it is. And I feel like that's just what you expect from this team.
And they still got some quality corners. Travarius Ward, Diamador Lenore, team one all-pro name. Isaac Yiadom. They also bring in Rock Ya-Sin, who knows what's going to happen with him. I know he's kind of deep on the depth chart, but we will figure that out as they go through. But yeah, Ambry Thomas, another one. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of losses. I mean, except Eric Armstead. So now you kind of are. You replace him with Leonard Floyd. See what can happen there for Bang Bang Niner Gang. And we don't have any appearances from any Niner fans, Colin. So I'm a little disappointed. I did see a like on a Facebook post about him, about the Niners. So, Colin's just like.
No, I'll see him this weekend. I'll be like, shit talk your Niners, and I can't wait to get Brandon Ayuk, so thank you.
Here we go. This is a schedule. So the beige color is the away. Okay, we got this. So, I mean, you go against Aaron Rodgers, who plays well against the 49ers in the regular season. Playoffs, not so much. Going on the road 2 weeks in a row is going to be kind of interesting. I don't know. I think they can honestly pull out a win against the. I think they could start 5-0 again. I really do. I don't really see an opportunity that they won't. But that rematch against the Chiefs week 7 is going to be a very interesting one. So last time they played the Chiefs at home, it was Patrick Mahomes trounced them. I think he's 3-0 now all time against the 49ers, or 4-0. Yeah, it's 4-0. 2 regular season, 2 Super Bowls. I know that's going to be a game Niner fans are going to have circled. And then, I don't know. I still think this is like a 12, 13-win team. there's nothing that's gonna stop them until they got to pay Purdy or if they're gonna go a different route. But yeah,
I don't really care about counting number of wins. It's just a matter of where it lines up versus the other NFC top teams, whether they get the bye or not.
Did they win 14 games last year?
I believe they won 14 games. They were the home field advantage of the NFC.
12-5. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct.
They
Is
lost
that correct?
like 3 in a row in the middle of the year when Trent
Dude,
Williams was hurt.
Is that correct? He says.
I am looking this up. I do not. I'm calling out Dom on this one.
It's definitely right. Jake's right. They definitely lost a few games in the middle of the season.
I think it was like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
when Trent
they
Williams
did.
was out. They were like,
Did they lose to Cleveland last year?
Yes, they did. PJ Walker, Cleveland.
Yeah,
And they went out and got PJ Walker. Or was that the Rams?
That's the Seahawks. So
Gee.
the Rams went 12-5. Won 3. Yeah, it was a 3-way tie. I forgot because that Dallas and Lions game was like really crucial if the Lions wanted like home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And Dan Campbell just said, "You know what? No, I'm keeping on rolling it, going for 2 every time."
To be honest, I don't know if they do any better than 12-5 this year.
I mean, you still go against some of the
Hard
big teams
stretch.
in the NFC.
Yeah, they have a tough stretch to end other than the Bears, and we don't know where the Bears are going to be at that point. But that's not an easy stretch. At the Bills in December, that could be tough. Then you have the Packers, that could be tough. At the Bills, that could be tough. The Bears, we don't know where that's going to be at. Them and the Rams exchange wins during the season. Okay,
they're going to smoke the Bears. They're going to smoke
I would think
the Rams.
So. They lost to the Rams last year. I mean, I don't know. The Dolphins, again, we don't know if they're fully healthy.
Yeah, late season, that they're probably
That's
depleted
tough.
at that point.
Yeah, but then the Lions, there's a few losses to be had in that last stretch of the schedule. I feel like, I don't know, 12
going green one cold place to another cold place. That's gonna be brutal.
That's what I'm saying.
For a milder team environment.
I think 12-5 is pretty accurate for this season. I mean, obviously, you're still talking about the head of the NFC.
We got 12-5 prediction. Oh no, he was just correcting us. Michael in the chat here on TikTok. It was 12-5. So
yep, there you go. He knows.
We got 11-6 as another prediction.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
they're winning the division. They're winning the division.
Yeah,
100%. So